These crimes are designed to send a message, and so was our response. Hate has no place here in Michigan.
Tonight, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel calling for an end to hate and anti-Semitism in our state. Her message comes just a few days after a man drove his vehicle into West Bloomfield synagogue. Good evening. I'm David Andrews.
And I'm Ann Emmerich. The FBI is investigating the attack as a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community. News 10's Riley Connell is in studio to tell us how Jewish leaders are pushing back against anti-Semitism.
Ann and David, this morning, Attorney General Nessel highlighted crime data that shows the number of hate crimes in Michigan is going up year over year. Pointing to last week's attack on Temple Israel, she says she wants to see legislative action to combat the problem. One Michigan State University professor tells me that action has to come with education.
Threats of violence against an East Lansing synagogue, vandalism at a Jewish community center, and now an attack on a Detroit area synagogue. Michigan State University professor Yael Aronoff says these incidents demonstrate the rapid spread of anti-Semitism in Michigan and beyond.
All Jewish institutions have had increased security.
Aronoff says anti-Semitism is driven by many things, but she believes the Jewish community is often wrongfully targeted by people on both extreme ends of the political spectrum.
Not all Israelis, much less Americans, much less Jewish Americans or preschoolers going to their synagogue are responsible for whatever grievances people have.
Calls for a stronger defense against anti-Semitism are coming from educators and state leaders alike after a man drove his vehicle through Temple Israel in West Bloomfield. Attorney General Dana Nessel is advocating for a state Senate bill expanding Michigan's anti-terrorism law to allow prosecution for threats of terrorism that were made either knowing or not caring that they would be taken seriously.
Threats of terrorism are simply too serious to risk weakening our ability to respond.
Aronoff says community action is just as important as legislation. As director of the Serling Institute for Jewish Studies, she says she's focused on limiting the spread of misinformation about Jewish people, hoping education can be a tool to unite, not divide.
The more anti-Semitic beliefs there are and hostility in that way, it also increases the risk to people's physical safety.
During her press conference this morning, Attorney General Nessel said the Michigan State Police work hard to prevent acts of domestic terrorism. She's also asked for more state investment in security for Jewish congregations across the state. Back to you, Ann.
All right, Riley, thank you. That proposed amendment to Michigan's Anti-Terrorism Act has already cleared committee and is waiting for a full vote on the state Senate floor.
Looking live.